Welcome, everybody, to Pizza Roundtable, part of the Pizza Club Network. Every week, we cover the biggest news stories in the pizza world. I'm your host, Will Duma, and I'm joined by my guest host, Jim Mumford. Jim is both a cookbook author and a writing contributor for the media publication Inside Hook. Jim, welcome, buddy. What is up?
Hey, good evening, Will. How you been, bud?
Doing good, man. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing great. Doing great. Day early because I just had so much we wanted to talk about. We had to get into it. Had to get into it right away.
Absolutely. I'll first let me ask you a traditional question here, Jim. Did you have any good pizza this week? What was the pizza life like?
Yeah, so I made a molten Ohio Valley style. So recall that Ohio Valley style is the hot pizza, the cold cheese. Tried some cold cheese
Ah,
parts. Did a molten one for the girls. Listen, it was exceeded expectations. Really good. Yeah,
nice.
it ate more like a hero, right? It's the only way I could put it, right? Just the
Really?
textures,
Yeah.
but really good. Sold, ship it. Big fan. So yeah, Ohio
Uh,
Valley Pizza made the list this weekend.
nice, man. Listen,
Yeah,
I'm totally down with the concept, and just for everyone else's reference, right? Ohio Valley being the idea of putting cold cheese, fully baking a pie, and
yeah,
adding cold cheese at the end when you're going to eat, right? So essentially, this cheese gets, I don't know, slightly melty.
not even. Yeah,
If that over how long, however long you might let it sit there. But I mean, how much do you put on? What's the recommendation, Jim, for the cheese
heaps.
amount? Heaps. Okay. All
Loads,
right.
loads. I mean,
Okay.
it's not a sprinkling. You literally, I think for a 13 by 18, I put on like 4 cups of cheese, like loads of
Oh
cheese.
wow. Okay,
Yeah,
damn. So this
yeah,
is
yeah.
almost like you're grabbing it out of the bag and eating it if you had like a shredded bag of nuts.
Correct. That is the complete
This
vibe
is
this
what we're
gives.
trying to replicate. This is this is the style. So listen, for because you are the resident pizza style expert and pizza historian, because I am not, I'll give you that title as well. Is the true Ohio Valley, is it started because of the college kids who didn't want to burn their mouth and put cold cheese on top, or is there more to it than that? Is this rumor ring true?
Yeah. So because there's Ohio Valley, there's other kind of there's your Old Forge, right? All those
Yes.
kind of thin Sicilian styles, they all came from like coal miner pizza, right? Something that could be par baked, or someone on their lunch break could either eat it, right? So they put cold cheese on the baked pizza, or something where it's par baked, it could just be cooked in 2-3 minutes. That's where all these styles kind of originated from. Were
Okay.
kind of a par baked Sicilian. The whole thing about a college kids not wanting to burn their mouth, and no, that's not where it came from. Yeah, it came from actually the industrial revolution of all things, kind of the early 40s 50s of coal mining and quick lunches and going. So yeah, all those Ohio Pennsylvania styles are kind of from that same cut.
Yeah, all right. I can appreciate that. And that,
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of where the direction I truly go with. I do appreciate the college story every once in a
yeah.
while, just to add a little humor to it. But I get it.
I, it,
Um,
I will say this pizza, right? You say it's akin to eating a handful of cheese right out of the fridge.
yeah,
It hits like that, and there's just something ineffable about it that if you've had a few or more than a few, I
yeah.
bet this pizza is just 10 out of 10.
All right, man. You've sold me on my next pie to be an Ohio
Yeah.
Valley style one, so I'm down. I've definitely had a slice or two like this before in Long Island. I
Mm,
think probably
it's
for
close
the
to Ohio.
other reason,
Yeah.
perhaps. But so all right, noted there. I too, Jim, had
Ooh,
interesting pizza
hit me.
this week. I was actually out in an area called Asheville,
Mm,
so kind of big brewery town in the mountains here, on the outskirts, or a couple hours out of Charlotte. And I pulled up the menu just so I can read it to you because I'm intrigued by your reaction. And so this one was a pesto. Sorry, the pizza is called the Magic Dragon.
okay,
Okay,
sure. That tracks for a brewery.
all
Yeah.
right, all right, and it's a pesto base, coconut crust, and your choice of curry chicken, tofu, or curry chicken or tofu as your protein topping, Roma tomatoes, red onions, and topped with a sweet chili sauce glaze. I obviously went with the coconut curry chicken to add additional coconut. Oh my god, I can't pronounce it. I'm gonna stop. You get where I'm going. More coconut flavor. It was unique, man. I'm gonna say that. Something different. Kind of did like the coconut crust. I'm not gonna lie. It was cool. It was like kind of like diced or minced coconut you kind of put on top. So there was definitely like a sweet element, but
Hmm.
one of my buddies I was trying it with kind of mentioned, hey, this could probably work with like pepperoni. So the takeaway for us, listen, the
Okay.
sweet sauce glaze on top tastes like kind of like a jarred red Asian spicy sauce you'd get in
Sure.
any kind of
Sure.
frozen Chinese entree where it had like a
Hmm.
packet of sweet sauce with it,
Absolutely.
something like
Yep.
that. Not to be generic, but that's kind of the flavor profile that I'm giving you, right? To what to
Mhm.
expect. So that was meh. But the coconut thing on the crust, kind of interesting, man. It was a savory pie. I'm intrigued to play around with that idea.
How fun. We covered a while back kind of like a flatbread kind of, is it pizza, is it not? And this is what that
Yep.
makes me think of. Is it pizza? Maybe not, but you listen, the flavors sound like it's good. So instead of like sesame seeds or like garlic, it's shredded coconut on the crust. Did I catch that right?
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
I kind of love that on the right pie, right? A pesto
Yeah.
pie, something that's nutty, something heavy arugula, right? Because that's going to toast up and it's not going to be sweet. It's just going to be nutty.
Yeah.
I am going to play with that.
I'm
I
telling you, it
I
was
like
cool. It was
that.
cool,
That's
man. It
neat.
was cool. Totally not something that you would expect. I will absolutely say that. So it was cool, man. It was like I said, the toppings on the other direction, eh, but the coconut component to it was fun. I liked it.
Was it a Neapolitan style? So something fluffy baked? Was it just kind of
No,
like a
I
hand
would say this is
tossed?
like a really hand tossed thin pie. I would say for the most part. So
Okay.
probably like 12 inch or so. So listen, it was good. It was good for what it was.
Nice.
The great takeaway for the coconut.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah.
willing to give that one a whirl. I would recommend it. It was definitely unique and it hit good. So
I can see that right if you're doing like a par baked Sicilian because you can burn that real easy. But if you're
yes,
finishing with that, you can control that. William, we might be onto something here, bud.
we might have our own pizza club pie coming up, right? I like
Absolutely.
it, dude.
Let's
I
do
like
it.
it. All right. Well, listen. Let's start off talking with some unique pies, to say the least. And I will say we can thank let's thank Google for this one,
Always.
or let's not thank Google. Also, possibly so. So this one is out of TheVerge.com, and it is Google still recommends glue for your pizza. It's almost like AI answers aren't fully baked. So on this one, man, this was a kind of like I don't know when this came up, like initially, but essentially, if you go into the Google prompt and it's that you put in how much glue to add to pizza, the AI overview prompt, which right, it's kind of like the newer feature when you're googling something, right? They give you a
Oh
little
yeah.
AI prompt at the top for it. Says according to a May 2024 article in Business Insider, Google's AI search results suggest adding 1/8 of a cup or 2 tablespoons of white non-toxic
Not
glue to
toxic.
pizza sauce to prevent cheese from sliding off. The author's article, Katie Notopoulos, said the glue didn't significantly change the sauce's consistency and the pizza turned out an attractive orange color. You know, I
I,
sauce, the cheese falling off is a problem, Jim. I
yeah,
just don't
absolutely.
know if this is the solve for that, but I defer to you, man. To
Yeah.
take us through your glue use in pies
I
normally.
mean, listen, I gave the stuff up in kindergarten, but I don't use much of it. Um, I feel bad for that poor journalist, right? As someone who writes things online, if somehow my article got twisted, like I mean, they got twisted enough as is, we got twisted to be the Google AI prompt to say, yeah, let's use some glue. I would be mad. I would be writing letters. Um, no, luckily, I don't think anyone's putting some Elmer's as a topping. yet, right? I mean, we do have some Japanese Domino's to cover, so it could be, right? It could
Fair
be
point.
next.
Fair point.
Some collagen and flour or something, but it's just hilarious that this has been going on for weeks, Will, right? And
Yes,
just
yes,
and
this is, dude.
and I am never worried that AI is going to replace me at my point in the internet because of, and here's exhibit glue, right? Um, by the way, if your
Um,
cheese is falling off, you have too much sauce, or your sauce is too wet, so maybe cook it down a little bit, get some more sugars, and your cheese won't fall off. Google.
Sounds like a
Yeah,
professional recommendation, Jim,
sounds
on
like it.
that
Yeah,
one.
it is. Yeah.
I will note the author here also did ran a chat GPT prompt on this, and it came out putting glue on pizza. I'll paraphrase: putting glue on pizza is definitely not recommended. Glue is not edible and could be harmful if ingested. If you're looking to make a pizza, I'd suggest sticking with traditional ingredients like cheese, sauce, vegetables, and meat.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you,
Yeah,
ChatGPT.
yeah. Very
Another
helpful. Wouldn't have gotten there. Yeah.
another one, Perplexity AI came back with the same essential sense, right? Of like, I would strongly advise against putting any glue on your pizza. So
Yeah.
yeah, guys, no glue. Not the glue is not the solve
Glue.
for the cheese sticking problem.
You heard it here first. Right.
All right, yeah, yeah, or 100th, or however
100.
many times you
However
need
many.
to hear that. Come back here. Maybe we could get put at the top, Jim, of a Google AI search to talk about glue on pizza. I'd be happy to.
Yeah, I would be, but it's also my biggest nightmare to be at the top of a Google search for anything. Is both the goal and what terrifies me. I'll tell a little anecdote. Right, I made a silly Chex Mix recipe probably 6 years ago as a joke. It
Okay.
has been first on Google for years. An instant pot Chex Mix. The amount of hate comments I get from that stupid recipe in my email. I thought about taking it down, but it's like half of my traffic in December around holiday season. But people get
Absolutely.
angry about, and this is Chex Mix. Well, we're not saving lives. We're not putting glue on pizza. This is Chex Mix. So yeah, being the first on Google anything just terrifies me. As backwards as that sounds.
Well, so to be more backwards, obviously
Yeah,
my first thoughts are how do you make Chex Mix pizza, right? And see if you can draw more traffic off of that, Jim. Sounds like the
challenge
way
it.
to go.
Coconut
Double
around the
down.
crust. Yeah,
Double down, dude. You're getting the traffic already. You're doing it right, Jim, when you get the haters. So if you're getting some hate, you're making the
I'm
articles
I'm
great,
getting
right?
close. I'm getting close. Chex Mix Pizza. Let me think about that because there will be rye
Yeah.
chips. That's why I can guarantee you there.
All right, take it away, man. You got a lot of flavor profiles coming in
Oh, I
tonight, dude.
got a
You're gonna
lot to
be.
work with
I'm
there.
seeing the neurons bouncing around, and you're like, bing, 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 bing. My ideas are going off. So, dude, let's see what you can do with it. All right, let's talk New York pizza for a minute. This one's an
Yeah.
interesting article. I think it's probably came out maybe a week or two ago, to tell you the truth, but I don't think we have to cover it yet. So this one, we'll grab the New York Post handle for this one. Century-old NYC pizza icon Totonno's looks for someone to take over with just one condition, and that is no pineapple. So essentially, the pizzeria in general has been out there for 100 years out in Coney Island. We're looking to retire and pass this on. Very classic style pizza,
Oh yeah.
great name recognition in New York. So, Jim, in general, I don't know if you've had Totonno's,
Mhm.
and I'm interested if you have. We can talk about it for a second, but I'm more interested in the idea of being able to kind of outright potentially buy a name like this. That to me is a lot of pizza clout behind that, and that's up for sale. That seems like an interesting opportunity for me for someone who wants to get into the pizza space and carry out a legacy. What do you think, man?
Yeah. So I mean, first the pizza. I'm sure you've had it too. This is kind of when you think of a really good New York slice. This is kind of where your head should go, right?
That's fair.
Definitely crispy, a little more oily, but in the best way, right?
Yeah.
Really
I'm
good
not a
pie.
blotter. I'm not a blotter anyway,
No,
so
no,
it's
no.
okay. I can
No,
get with
yeah,
it.
it's but yeah, think about buying that name, right? If I'm a
Yeah.
franchisee, it almost feels wrong, even though it's not, right? This happens all the time, but yeah, buying that. I mean, this is one of the biggest names in pizza, and I would assume there's some cash behind buying that. And if no pineapple, which I mean, will you live? Do you make slice shops with pineapple and pizza? I'm guessing not, right? I,
Not
I don't I
often.
don't think it's a deal breaker.
No, I'm with you, and so I know we've chatted a few of our friends here in the pizza club community in general about this, and a lot of the enthusiasts are like, I would never, put my name, or a lot of operators and owners tell you the
Oh
truth,
yeah,
like I would never put my name out there like that to be able to take on, like, look what's going to happen to the quality, and as a good comparable, right? There's some other big name New York pizzerias that have expanded and have gone downhill over time. So, but on the business side, to me, it seems like, hey man, that seems like something you could expand outside of New York and have like a playback, right? To say like, here's my New York roots and heritage behind it, and not to be deceiving. It's just like if you're making a decent or mediocre pizza, at least to be able to kind of put that out there, that's a good selling point for you. So I'm not saying
yeah,
necessarily it's something I would do, but if that was your angle, this would be a good potential one to acquisition. Granted, I don't know the price tag, right? I don't know
yeah.
what that looks like to buy this thing, but interesting that it's up for sale from that just perspective.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, if you're trying to do a regional chain in that area, this is the name you'd want on it, right? So, yeah, interesting. Again, the business side, I'm sure, and I'm sure there's stipulations, but I don't. I
Yeah,
got at least 20 on it. Will, if you want to go in like heavy, I could
I'm
probably
in.
go up to
I'm
25.
that's fair, man. I could match it. I could match you there. Maybe we could start crowd fundraising for it then. But it's cool. I'm excited to follow this
Yeah.
one,
Oh
see
yeah.
kind of where this lands, or if it lands, right? Or maybe they decide to kind of step away with it. I'm intrigued to see where if we find any more just of like how expensive this is or what they're looking for. I'm sure there's going to be a vetting process around this
Oh,
too.
I'm
To be
sure.
honest with you, I don't think just necessarily anybody would be able to step in. But again, I don't know. Let's just see where it goes.
Money talks. Yeah, this is one we'll definitely follow for a bit.
Yeah. All right. All right, let's talk about let's go across the coast. Let's head out to California, right?
Oh,
Because
your
you know
favorite
I
pizza
can't
style?
I can't get enough of California style pizza, but thankfully we're not talking about that, at least for the most part. This
Mm.
is a spot that I'm actually really interested in, and so if I am out in LA, this is on my absolute LA go-to list. This is Pizzeria Say,
Mm.
which has been super popular, and this is a Japanese Neapolitan style, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of where that evolved from in general. And these pizzas look delicious in general.
So,
But the reason why Time Out picked them up, and they have started a pizza omakase. Love this idea, and I know they're kind of crediting it here as new and unique. Let me quote from the article first from Time Out. We went to LA's first Tokyo style pizza omakase. Here's what we thought from the author here, Patricia Ye. Pizzeria Say already serves the best pizza in Los Angeles, but does its new $150 tasting menu live up to the hype? So, in general, I think we were talking about the other week, Jim, this spot, Pizza
yeah.
Bar on 38th at the Mandarin Oriental in Tokyo, which recently got highlighted for its great acclaim to doing a pizza omakase out there. So, is Japan going to be the only place that you can do it? No. So now Pizzeria Say is in LA, and I'm not going to lie, we do have a friend at out here in Charlotte, right? Well, not necessarily in
Mm.
Charlotte. He's actually in what is it, Raleigh, Durham, or Winston, Durham, in that area,
Mhm.
um, who is doing one as well, Peyton Smith.
Ooh.
So really cool idea. Same kind of principles, I think, for the most part. But Pizzeria Say looks like it's going over the top, knock you in the face with some kind of flavor profile. So happy to take a look at some of these, man. If you get a second, let's say I'll start off with a
Yeah.
few. Give me your thoughts on
And
these.
before we get into it, right? So
Yeah.
omakase is like you're a sushi bar. It
Yes.
means
Yes. Please
like
do.
in the hands of the chef, right? So you don't decide. The house decides what you get, and you're gonna love it, right? It's kind of you put your faith in them. So it's a concept, and I think it's cool to come to pizza, right? Because it started right sushi bars.
Yeah, and particularly just to bring home that exact point that you're essentially sitting at the sushi bar, right? And you're doing piece by piece, right? So it's
Yes,
not
yes,
just
yes,
like
yes.
normally like dish after dish. We're talking individual piece made, dropped in front of you, you eat immediately, right? We move on, make the next piece, right? Come on back to it. So that's the idea, the concept. So I think the transition or translation kind of part of it here is always unique to me because it's like, what would that be? Would that just be like individual slices? Do you make a full pie? And does that like feel the same if someone just dropped a pizza in front of you, like at the table, and gave you a piece? Like what? I don't know. That's where I struggle with the omakase
Sure.
kind of component. Um, but it looks like it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, dude. So I'm happy to kind of highlight a few of these. The first welcome bite consisted of Korean-style amberjack ceviche served on top of a pizza dough cone. Um, period. Like
Yeah.
that sounds
So
like an amazing start with amberjack on a pizza cone. Like I'm in.
absolutely, it's like a hand roll pizza. It's brilliant. I mean, just again, inspired. Wood.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna stop talking for a second and just share some of these photos
Yeah.
because these
Pictures,
pizzas
right?
honestly are gonna do it way more justice than I would be able to. Um, there's a beautiful shot at the beginning of them with like the caviar topped pie, right? To
Which is
start with
just
here on top. These just look beautiful. I'm totally down. This is a big eye tuna, inspired by savory tomato and cheese. You've got some wasabi next to it. I'm totally down to eat this. And this seems like the cool style of like, hey, plate an individual slice, two you eat and serve and come back. All these pies, just honestly, they all look absolutely beautiful. I this huge prawn on top of one of these
it's
pizzas. I am
so
a
great.
sucker for the whole prawn, tucking the prawn head out.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
down. I'm in for it. I could just stare at these pizzas all day, but then people would tune out because we just would stop talking. So I need to close the page out so I can speak again because they just look delicious, man. I would just stare at them.
Yeah. Again, it's a tasting menu. It seems fun. I'm in, right? And again, it fits the style, right? The pizza's the art, and each
Yeah.
crust looks just a little bit different, right? Just the way it's so. I'm here for it, and yes, definitely sign me up. And I do wonder if this is going to become a thing, right? Because we're seeing it, right? If it happens in LA, it's going to happen elsewhere, right? And this is California style 2.0, right? Where it's the
Yep.
omakase kind of vibe, which I'm here for.
So the reviewer here for Time Out said they left, quote unquote, from start to finish the entire Pizza Omakase at Pizzeria Say, clocked in at around 3 hours, and I left more than satisfied with the amount of time and money spent. While the average pizza enjoyer might think 150 for an all pizza meal is a waste of money, the quality of ingredients and the varied consistency of each slice's crust, there were about 5 unique doughs in all across them, more than justified the high cost of admission in my eyes. I haven't eaten this, and I feel like I would be saying the same thing without even trying it. I'm so excited to get to try this place in general when they came out 2 years ago or so on the LA scene, being like kind of one of the first like $20+ Neapolitan pies in general, and they caught a lot of
Yep.
attention. So I'm super psyched to see this happen and would love to get out there. I can't say enough about it. I'm so
Yeah.
intrigued.
I'm here for it. I'm here
150
for
for
the
you, Jim.
concept.
What do you think? Price point for this one,
Done.
though.
Fine.
All right.
Right, because you gotta know
All
that
right.
this is art, right? This is a demonstration. This is during a show, right? You're not getting a 5 bites, six pizzas. That's not what this is, right?
Yep.
This is the art behind it. So absolutely, especially in LA,
All
yeah, it's
right.
fine.
Totally. I'm with you. All right. And they did note the hardest thing to do is getting a reservation. That's it. So try
It's
to
fine.
get in
Well,
there.
I know a guy, probably. I don't know.
I think we probably
I'm sure
could. Maybe
Michael
we can make
could
it
do
happen.
something, right?
Michael makes everything happen.
Yes, he does.
Um, all right, guys. Let's. And I did forgot to mention, John. I was talking about the friend Peyton and that's Mission Pizza Napolitana near here in Raleigh, Durham, as well as the
Nice.
Pizza Omakase. So another cool one to check out if you're on the East Coast. All right, let's talk about Costco, man,
Yeah,
because
you seem like
I,
a Costco guy.
I
Is that a
was, and
compliment?
then
I don't know. It's a compliment.
I think that could go like
Okay.
multiple directions. It depends upon the context of it, right? If you're like, you could be a frugal, great shopper, like you probably go to Costco, right? Or if you could just be like, you seem like a Costco guy, right? I think there's different contexts for that,
Yeah.
but I'm totally fine with it. I can go to
Okay.
Walmart, I go to a mall. Yeah, I just don't
Right
have
with it.
one that close to me at the
Sure.
moment. I do talk about it probably every single time I talk about Costco, and I know people are probably sick of it, but if you do get the Costco pizza slice for the $1.50, right, that it is,
Value.
or do the pizza hot dog roll up thing, give it a try. You're getting the hot dog, you're putting it on the pie, you're rolling it up. It's like a stuffed pizza hot dog. It's a great play.
It's
Your kids will at least find
it's
it
the move.
entertaining. Give it a whirl at your next Costco trip.
Could be the
But
move.
anyway, I
Yeah.
digress. I digress to my favorites in the Costco food court. But
Yeah.
this one I haven't tried, man. And so, Jim, I don't even know if this is real. And I don't think
I didn't
anyone
either.
else does. So we got to find out. So this is from Eat This, Not That. Does Costco's food court actually sell a chicken bake pizza. Costco's chicken bake pizza has been taking TikTok by storm, but is it real? So apparently, in general, there's a video out there, it's got a million views. TikToker Alan Shapiro claimed that Costco's eat in store eateries have a secret menu option that combines the food court's chicken baked 840 calorie chicken bake, right? And then the
Yeah.
pizza 710 calorie slice. So apparently there's a way to bring those together. Guys, in general, that chicken bake has chicken, bacon, Caesar dressing, and cheese stuffed inside of a chicken bake, right? That's the bake idea. So apparently this is all on a pie. Here's the quick snippet of what that thing looks like. I'm
That
happy
doesn't
to
look
try
fake, but
it. I agree it does not. Apparently there's also a code you need to give because you're going to get blank stares unless you quote 69247, and that is the way to get rung up with this pizza. Now, other other Costco employees are quoted here in this article saying they have no idea what this is about. I don't know if this is a smokescreen. They're trying to keep people away from it. They're trying to keep it inside. Is it really a secret menu option? Jim, I don't know what to make of this, man. What do you think, dude?
I am sure, right, one place demoed it, right? The places do this all the time, right? It's
Of
like when
course.
Chipotle demoed the quesadilla, right? Where it was a secret menu, it wasn't. Three places did it, and it caught on. I mean, will anyone make anything for you, especially Costco? Probably. Do you have to give the secret handshake to get it? Doubtful. But honestly, though, if any place you had to have a secret handshake and know the password, would it be Costco, right?
I
We
can
had to
see
show the
that.
card, swipe the thing, do
Yep,
the
yep.
do the sign, and you get the 2,000 calorie slice of pizza or something. So, listen, Costco, if you're watching, if this isn't real, make it real, right? Make the secret password, right? Make it go
Yep.
viral. This is your opportunity.
It's kind of cool. I do think it is. I will note the author here noted that Costco did not immediately respond to our queries for comment on the chicken bake pizza rumors.
Where are they hiding?
Um, right. So right, not responding doesn't also mean no, right? So there's different ways to interpret all of these comments, right? So I don't know. We'll have to see what this looks like. I'm intrigued with it, but I like the idea, right? I think this is one of
Oh
those
yeah,
things, just kind of like you're highlighting, right? In general, like Chipotle was a big. I know Chipotle's getting a little bit of heat right now, in
more
off of TikTok too, right now from their portion sizes and right some other food news that we talk about, but they were a big advocate for kind of taking those like secret menu items and actually turning them into menu items, where possible, right? They became staples on the menu, like you're alluding to, right? Not just the quesadilla, but I think there's a couple different examples that
Oh,
kind of go in that
absolutely.
same way. So could we see that? And I think a couple weeks ago we were talking about other Costco users who were kind of shopping the hot dog area of the food court for other ingredients and putting them on the pizzas. I believe the biggest one recently was the use of onions, where people were
Onions.
doing getting onions on their slices and then asking their pie to be recooked with the onions on it to incorporate them instead of just sprinkling them on top. So the Costco food court just seems like, I don't know, man, a
It's another world,
creativity
man.
lab. The lab of pizza creativity is coming out of the Costco food court, apparently, dude.
It is funny, but again, like Costco steer into it, right? Steer into things. I don't know. It chicken because chicken bake, right? It's like chicken bacon Caesar. I
Caesar,
mean,
yeah.
it's
I
basically chicken
like the
bacon.
Caesar
I
modification instead of just ranch. Oh, listen, I
absolutely.
think ranch is great; it gets a lot of play. But the Caesar play, like, I'm down for that
Well,
one. That's a good remix to me.
you put a little coconut on the crust, and I think you're onto something. Some Chex Mix sprinkle for some
I
crunch,
don't
and
know if they're ready for that yet, but I'm with you.
I don't know if the world's ready. We are. I could try it in my easy bake pizza oven. It should come this weekend, and we'll see what I can do.
Oh, that did Betty Crocker send you a cease and desist, or are we still allowed to talk about them?
We're still good. We're still good.
All right, cool.
I
All
haven't
right,
checked the
excellent.
mail
Well,
today, but
just make sure we can still speak about them. So, all right, cool. I'm intrigued to see the easy bake. Let's see how that comes out
yeah.
then.
Oh yeah, can't
All
wait.
right. Hey, but if anyone else gets to Costco and tries this, I'm really intrigued as if
Tag will,
anyone
not
can do
me,
it.
just will.
69247 is the code that you are quoted for the chicken bake pizza if it exists. If it exists, we told you. If it didn't exist, we did not tell you.
We did not tell you a
Don't say
thing.
it was us.
Yeah,
So
don't know.
refer back
It was
to Mr. Shapiro here from TikTok,
yeah.
who created the trend. The trend.
69420 or 69427.
69247. You got it wrong twice. That
247.
was 90.
Did I? Did I?
Right. Let's keep going, man. Speaking of popular pizzas, this one out of Eater, New York. This is just not a headline that I often read. So this was F&F Pizza is so popular, it's kicking out its wine bar. Not gonna lie, I would say traditionally from a restaurant space, we are
Other
normally
way around.
not cutting off the alcohol side of the business, which often populates a higher end of profits for a number of operators, right?
Supports
It's a big draw.
everything,
It's a
right?
big draw in there. So cutting that portion of it out to be able to expand just for your capacity is interesting, man. I'm not that familiar with F&F. I don't know if you've ever had them before, but it's an interesting conundrum to be in. I'll say that.
Yeah, no, never had them. I like the swirl. They got some boardwalk
Yeah,
vibes
the
going,
swirl's cool. I like it.
which is, it's got the Marukas kind of the swirl, so it looks good. Yeah, interesting, right? Most restaurateurs would tell you, right, the food's there, so you drink more booze, right?
So
And
to that point, I think there might just be getting rid of the wine bar. They're going to be expanding seating. I don't know if they're going to be cutting off, alcohol all entirely.
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
making a bit of a pun on it, where I'm saying, but
But
interesting though.
yeah,
I'm with you
interesting. Listen, if F&F wants to send us a pie and a bottle of wine, we can tell them if they made the right decision. No, but it speaks to it, right? That pizza and eating pizza at location is growing, right? I know
Yes.
COVID took that away, right? It took it away hard. And you're starting to see that come back where it's not takeaway, where people are, think of the omakase, right? People want to have
Yeah.
that pizza experience hot right out of the oven right away. And it's coming back. I think that's cool. I think that's a cool sign for the industry.
I agree, and I think that's probably, at least from an operator perspective, yes. There's some uptake in revenue, right? If you're having someone sit down and potentially have a pie, but it's also just like that's probably the style that you designed your pie to be consumed in, right?
Exactly.
So it's kind of cool to be able to show off your masterpiece in the true way that you're looking to, right? Where someone's getting it hot and fresh, piping out the oven, dropped on a table in front of you, and you have some good conversation and maybe some wine if it's
Maybe some
available
wine.
still when you're there.
If you got something behind the bar.
All right. Well, speaking of making good pizzas, Jim, we to make a good pizza, we obviously need to cook the pizza at
Yeah.
least, right? I must say,
Helps.
I haven't seen that many like raw pizzas yet out there as a trend. Maybe that'll be a thing at some point in time. We haven't seen that yet. We'll have to look
Caveman
at a
pizza.
Costco.
Maybe.
We'll have to look
Yeah.
at Costco, perhaps. Maybe someone will do it.
I,
We'll do it there. But
I cannot cook this. Yeah.
this article out of Home and Gardens, experts revealed the best temperature for cooking pizza for a perfect al fresco dinner. This is the optimum temperature for cooking pizzas according to expert chefs and pizzaiolos. So before I get into it, Jim, do you think this article is going to tell us that there's one temperature for cooking all pizza, or do you think it'll break it down into different types of pizzas for different conditions? Where do we think we go with this one?
I bet it lands somewhere mediocre in the middle, right, where it names like a couple temperatures, but doesn't really tell you much of anything because better home. I mean, I don't know, Will. Why don't we go ahead and read and find out?
All right, fine. I'm glad you did look into this one in advance. So
I did.
I
Yeah.
spoke to expert chefs, including a pizza champion, about the right temperature for your pizza oven. Experts gave me two simple rules. In a pizza oven, you should aim for about 800 degrees. In a kitchen oven, just crank the
High as it can
temperature
go.
up as high as it will go. This is not horrible advice, Jim.
I don't mind 800. Cranking your oven as high as it will go is follow the recipe. Please, I implore you.
Okay.
Because listen, some ovens go up to 475, some go up to 550. That's a big difference, right? And it very much depends on the style and where you're going. Is there a stone? Is there a steel? But cranking as high as it goes. Also, if you've never done that in your oven before, you're going to smell some things. You're going to burn some things, right?
Yep.
So it's pretty good advice. I would say
Okay,
it's B
fair
plus
point.
advice.
I hear you there. So I'll quote as we continue going through this. The chef I spoke to did say it depends on the style of pizza you're trying to cook. New York style pizza, sugary, heavy dough, rolled thin, and Neapolitan lighter, puffy crust, right? Need different temperatures. So to your point, absolutely. I think we're going with the general rule of thumb here. So I'd say kind of Michael Vacnine recommends New York style pizzas need 550 and Neapolitan pies need between 775 to 800 degrees. Right? That's good
Yeah.
guidance. I would absolutely agree with.
Agreed.
Other chefs have quoted 650 to 900 for Neapolitan, depending upon the hydration of your dough. Obviously, like
Hydration matters a lot.
there's
Yeah.
so many variations, right, to this.
So many.
Absolutely. But I think the idea, at least I've seen, I mean, from a lot of recipes for at-home pizzas, and maybe that's because people are trying to replicate at the time, I would probably say a lot of like Neapolitan style pies, and we're talking about trying to crank it up as high as possible in your home oven, if possible goes. But I know you definitely make a number of different style pies where you're cooking at a way lower temperature.
Yeah, I generally try to rock a lower. In the book that I may, if I were hypothetically writing a book, I live between 450, 475 for a lot. Just because ovens vary, and when you get to that high temperature, right? Ovens are calibrated for 350. They're not calibrated for that high, so you get swings. But if you are doing Neapolitan, there are ways, right? You can use cast iron, you can use your broiler, you can use your grill, if you don't have a pizza oven. But yeah, I generally tend to 475 is kind of my baseline, which is lower. But again, right, I'm doing more Sicilians, par bakes, taverns. But yeah, I do rock lower, and I can't wait for people to comment and tell me how terrible that is in coming next spring. But
one of the good things you did mention, you've mentioned this in the past too, is the oven calibration, which is a complete sleeper of people thinking about. But to be
yes,
honest, right, like your oven is not meant to be that high in a constant state, right?
no,
So you are definitely going to get some variation to it. And also, I think the underrated part is too, whether you're just cooking right straight on the grates or if you've got a stone or a steel in there, right, that can change the temperature, obviously, that you're going to bake out as well, right? Because
yeah,
you're keeping heat in a different area, right, consistently. So
yeah.
lots of
Are
variation.
you
That's why pizza's
top
fun. You got to
fire? Are you
experiment.
bottom fire? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff to it. So, but yeah,
It's almost like you should put
follow your recipe.
it's almost like you should put a book out of recipes like this where people
Maybe
could
100
comment
of
on
them
that.
or something. Maybe I don't know.
Well, tell me this, man. Is there a recipe in your book, hypothetically,
Hypothetically, yeah.
for this gym, the French bread pizza? So I know this doesn't look like your traditional Stouffer's French bread, but this one CBS News is just giving some recipe recommendations for Father's Day. I don't particularly know why French bread pizza stands out as a Father's Day staple, but I am a sucker for
Oh yeah.
a play date during school where I could, or when you come home, you go to your friend's house, and we had some Stouffer's French bread
Stouffer.
pizza. I
That was
loved
it.
it. I loved it. Do you have French bread pizza nostalgia, Jim, in your life
Right now.
as well?
Right now. It hits, right? But it's that and bagel bites have just a corner of my heart. Yeah, I read this article, right? This stuff looks good, right? The French breads
Yeah,
look good. And is a pizza kinda not,
yeah.
right? But
It's a pizza
it
adjacent item. I'm with you
it's a
there. It's
pizza,
like,
yeah.
what do I call this?
But I mean, there is something to be said about that French bread pizza where you take the bread, you slather it in your stuff. I am here for it. And yeah, there's nostalgia to it, right? Because it was one of the
Yeah.
first like foods we ever cooked, at least for me, right? I learned how to do
Yes.
mac and cheese. And I learned how to make like a bagel pizza, right? It's the same kind of thing. So, no, I'm
Absolutely.
here for it. So make it for your dad this weekend if you don't want to do the whole goulash thing. French bread
Yeah.
pizza, he's gonna love it.
All right, guys, you heard it here first. Jim, you could start doing mail order French breads. I'm kind of
Now
interested to
we're on
see
to
what
something.
this.
Costco, close your ears. Don't you encroach on this. This is ours. We had French bread cornered.
Um, oh man. All right, listen, we got another buddy from Pizza Club, and I wanted to highlight him because he made the pizza of the week for a Korean corn cheese pizza. And we were just talking about this area. Fat
Yep.
Daddy's Pizzeria in Provo, Utah, is our pick for pizza of the week. So Chad out there is owner operator. I think Jamie, is it Jamie, who had created it? So one of the co-owners of it. This pizza looks good, man.
It looks so
Korean
good.
corn cheese pizza, like this looks delicious. I am absolutely totally down to give this thing a whirl. Corn on pizza, man? Do you do it? Do you have recipes of the same?
Yeah, I've used it quad city styles for some reason to have some corn. I don't do it
Hmm.
often, but in your favorite California style, it plays right. It's a sweet, it's a texture. If it's done, correctly. So I'm here for it. Right. I'm sure it's a spicy. Right. It's got that gochujang. It's got some depth. So
Yeah,
this looks outstanding. So hats
it
off.
does. It does. So Korean corn pizza is made with a creamy Alfredo base and topped with mozzarella, tangy peppers, and sweet corn kernels. We finish it with our house-made Korean mayo and fresh chopped green onions. I actually
Yeah.
thought there was going to be something a little bit spicier, like you were saying, like gochujang or something like
Gochujang.
that on top of
Yeah,
it. Tell
I
you the
thought
truth,
that's what the
yeah.
red was, but
It,
maybe it's offered with it. That still sounds really darn good.
yeah, I'm with you. So props to you, Chad Fat Daddy's nice pizza man to get featured
Yeah.
on there. So
It's got some elote vibes to it. I'm here for it.
yeah, it looks good, and it's a nice looking crust. Let me go back to it for 1 second. Like I think this is a well cooked crust. If you guys get the upper area for me, not too dark. Like it looks perfect for this style, in my opinion.
Yep.
So
It's
just
got some
want to,
texture to it, right? It's
yep,
not going to
yep,
flop
yep,
apart, right? It's got some
yep.
chew. Yeah, that looks proper.
Looks good. All right, let's talk about some more interesting pies, man.
Ooh,
This one out of Japan today. Definitely one of
yeah.
my
Oh,
favorite
we had one.
publications all the time, right? So this is Pizza Hut's limited time secret menu puts hearty new twists on classic menu items. I mean, honestly, like some of the stuff that is, we talk about Domino's in the US a
Oh,
lot. Pizza Hut, I feel like we talk about a lot in Japan, particularly like there's so many funky articles that come out. They had
100%.
the ramen pizza as of lately. They quoted here an Oreo pizza. I don't
Oreo.
remember seeing
I
that
don't
one.
remember the Oreo pizza. I think we're okay with that.
Did,
Maybe. I don't. I don't.
did
I don't.
Pizza Hut do the snake? Was it Pizza Hut that did the snake one that we were just talking about as well? I had
Yeah,
to
the
have been
snake
out
one. There
there.
wasn't there like a Ninja Turtles one. It was either them or Domino's that just was
I
wild.
think I forget who did the Domino's one. If that, I mean, I forget who did the
Yeah,
Ninja Turtle pizza. I know that one we took a little heat because it looked like a third grader put that Ninja
yeah,
Turtle
it did.
together. I'm
That
not
one
gonna lie,
looked
but
tough,
that
but
was probably one of the more of the fails that
yeah, rare
we've
miss.
seen out there. But this one's interesting, man. So we've got like kind of like I don't know what you call this, like a pizza sandwich for the most part, but it's like
Yeah,
a four-layered meat lovers pizza. These little pizzolas, little sandwich
double
items.
calzone, stromboli
I'm
kind of things.
totally,
Yeah,
totally down for this one. This looks delicious. This one is, I love some of these translations off of them. This is the teriyaki mayo folded pizza, which essentially is, what do they call this thing? Hold on. It is the pizza sandwich with chicken inside a mayo chicken pizza. So it is essentially kind of like we've seen a lot of these half folded over pizza sandwiches, right? It's a play on that of a crispy,
yeah.
breaded piece of chicken inside with mayo, a
That
mayo based teriyaki. I would totally be
that
down
that,
to
that
give
looks
this a whirl.
awesome, right? You cover that in
Yeah,
some gochujang or something hot. I know that's not, of the region, but still, that sounds awesome.
you're feeling spice. I could
I
I could
am.
see it
I,
now,
yeah,
man.
I am.
I think this one would call for it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and then here we
Um,
go.
But I would note
Yeah,
that I just wanted to highlight that I forget which one comes with it. Was it this one or the meat lovers? Oh, the meat lovers comes
yeah,
with a honey mustard dipping sauce, which I thought was unique for the pizza.
yeah. I never thought of it. It's not
Yeah.
terrible, right? I mean,
No,
it's
it's not
sweet.
horribly bad.
It's I've heard of worse. I try it, right? And listen, this I love that Japanese pizza is full send, right? Whatever
Yeah.
mashup we can do, we're going for it, and they do. Honey mustard, I get on the chicken, but meat lover, I try it, but
Yeah.
it's just full send, right? It's just whatever we got. Let's just shove it out there.
I thought the honey mustard might go with the essentially Japanese style fried chicken nuggets that are
Yeah,
also offered there, more
that
so,
looks
but
awesome.
who am I to judge, right? On that one, I'll take any dipping sauce that's allowed, and we'll roll with it.
Yeah, honey
But Pizza
mustard.
Up Japan, interesting new offerings, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Um,
I this is a fun one. I always like seeing the wild stuff, right? It's like, this is
yeah,
what Americans eat: fried chicken and
there.
pizza. Shove it in.
These were less wild than that we've seen recently. Of that
The,
like ramen pizza, honestly
the
looked effing
wild,
delicious, dude.
yeah,
The snake one was just like crazy.
crazy, right? That's all you put it, crazy, right? And no volcanoes in the middle, which is a little bit of a bummer, but
Fair, fair. Well, listen, keeping up with unique offerings, let's not sell America short, right? Because we've got Papa John's on our side.
Ooh, Papa
Yeah,
Giorgio's, yeah.
go, Papa. Papa's back with its famed cheesy burger pizza, returns to its value meal. Um, I'm not too familiar with this pie. In general, the cheesy burger pizza features Papa John's fresh, never frozen dough, topped with our signature burger sauce, generous portions of beef, tomato, dill pickle, and real cheese
Ooh,
made
real cheese.
from mozzarella. That just something about
I'm
that
sorry.
part of the
Real cheese
sentence
made from
just
mozzarella.
felt off to me for this one. And this one was out of QSR magazine. Um, yes, and real cheese made from mozzarella. It's not that the real cheese made from mozzarella part is not the part that hits me. It's the reference to the real cheese of being that do the other pies not feature the
Not
real cheese,
feature,
and
right.
this is the real cheese pie, not that
This
it's
is
just from the mozzarella. The mozzarella.
there's a lot to unpack in that copy, but we gloss over the dill pickles, which, listen, I say I'll try anything once, twice. It's a thing here. I can't do it. I can't do dill pickles on pizza. I don't think it works.
Wait,
And
just
this,
dill pickles or any pickle? You're not a
I
pickle
like
person
dill
on
pickles.
pizza.
I like pickles. I like pickles. Dill pickles on pizza. I have tried it. I cannot. It has to be a specific, but a traditional, mozzarella or mozzarella like pie. I can't do it. I've tried. I can't do
Okay,
it.
got it. Okay.
But this looks like it has like a Thousand Island base, right? Is kind of what
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
special garlic sauce and pepperoncini. So the dough, well, sorry, the sauce there is a signature burger sauce, which I'm assuming is some sort of
Some
Thousand
sort of.
Island replication of something or other.
So and maybe the pickle plays better in this. Oh, this is interesting. I would never order this. Will, if it were in front of me, I would try it. But if I want pizza, I want pizza. I don't know, just something about this. Just maybe it's the real cheese made from mozzarella that's really just getting me. I'm right. I love Papa John's. Right, Pie grew up on Papa
Sure.
John's. Right. I mean, this was forever game. Right. We cash a pizza. And no hate to Papa, but
Yeah,
something about this one, it weirds me out. I don't know. It's ineffable. I can't. What
I'm
am I
not.
missing? To put
I
put
you
put words in my
know
mouth.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not necessarily drawn to it either. I feel like if I do see some of these offerings and I'm in the mood for a chain style kind of pizza, I'd be down to give them a whirl. This one particularly, I'm also not a big cheeseburger replication pizza person.
Yeah,
I've
same.
definitely had some that I liked, and I've actually had some particularly with like lettuce on them that I
Yeah,
thought was really good. It's post bake, and they're more of almost like a Chicago thin style. What I thought was kind of cool
yeah.
to make that work as opposed to like a slice like this. That would I could totally be down for that with pickles on it, but I don't want like a full slice cheeseburger style pizza. It's just not my jam.
Yeah,
So
same.
I
Not
maybe
my
we're
jam.
both not burger pizza people. I'm happy to have a burger in a regular burger context, but
Yeah,
it's just not my pizza
absolutely.
pizza jam.
Not my pizza jam. So now I hear you. Try anything once, but real cheese made from that's gonna haunt me. I don't know.
I know. This is the one I need clarity on. Is the real cheese made from mozzarella? I feel like someone may have overlooked that. I'm hoping they just meant to say real
Hopefully that's just
mozzarella cheese.
bad AI copy or something. But there someone very carefully chose those words, Will, and I don't want to unpack that.
That's fair. Well, listen, here's one for you to unpack, Jim, because we're going to go to the ball game. Feel like you have a good understanding for this one. This one is
Just a
from
hair. Just a
home
hair.
home run in, backed by popular demand. Home run in, and the Chicago Cubs once again brew up beer pizza for fans to enjoy starting this weekend on Friday, June 14th. So I'm not gonna lie, dude. I don't get it. What am I missing? I'm all for it, but like, is it an ingredient made with the beer? Do I pair the beer? Did they make the pizza with the beer? I didn't pick that up from the article.
Yeah, I have no clue. Will, I read the article 4 times looking for that
Okay.
too.
Okay. We're on the same page now. I
No,
also watched the
absolutely no clue.
video. I also watched the
It did
video.
help.
No, I agree. Also didn't help. I feel like that's what if this is a PRNewsWire.com release, right? It's a PR
Yeah,
release for it. And we are talking about this promotion. It's not necessarily news, but it's news because it's an
yeah.
interesting idea. But I don't know what the idea is, and I feel like that
I
should
have no
come
clue.
across clearly in the copy. Right.
So my
I
guess
know
is
we
right.
said
So
pizza and we said beer, and I'm now intrigued for the article, right? But like,
yeah,
I still don't know what I'm getting.
yeah.
I'm harping on
So
that.
it's real cheese made from mozzarella. Um,
It's real cheese
so
made from beer. I get it.
yeah.
That must be what it is.
So first off, right? So Home Run Inn Pizza is kind of a mashup between Chicago Tavern and Chicago Deep Dish, right? So
Yeah.
your crust is a little more buttery, it's a little more flaky, and it's different. It's a cool mashup. It's a cool chain. It's definitely one of my favorites. Um,
Oh, okay.
so yeah, I'm a big fan of Home Run Inn because it's kind of unique. So my guess is that somehow they put like extra wheat or like some hops or something in the dough to give it like an ale
Mm-hmm.
vibe, right? Is my
Yeah.
guess because the dough is not very wheat heavy. I know it's got some cornmeal or something. That's my guess, Will. I would
Okay.
have led with that. Either way, it's cool, right? And go to Wrigley Field, get a slice of Home Run Inn that may or may not taste like beer. I
Yeah.
think that's
I'm
fun,
with
but
you. It sounds cool
good.
in terms of piquing my attention, but as I continue to read the copy of the wheat ale flavored non-alcoholic zesty treat will be available in Home Run Inn's 8-inch sausage pizza. Let's select concession stands throughout Wrigley.
Yeah,
So
I still don't know what
wheat,
that means.
I am with you. I'm with you.
Well, there's only one thing I have to do. Well, I should go to Wrigley Field this weekend, try a pizza, and then report back. Maybe several, and maybe some beers so I can compare some old styles in the bleachers. I will do that
I
for the team. There's
thank
no
you.
other way. Yeah. Well,
Thank you, man.
guy of the
I
people here.
appreciate that. I'm happy. I'm
Will
happy to buy. I'm happy to buy you a beer out there. So no problem, man.
Will if I
Send
had to
buy
over
one on me.
under the number of beers I've consumed in Wrigley Field in my life, that number would disappoint some of our viewers, and not because it's low.
Really?
Y'all, buddy, I had season tickets for a while. It that number. So you remember the whole beer? Do you remember the whole beer snake thing? Right? I don't know if you saw this. Right, where in the
No.
bleachers they make the beer
Oh,
snake out of the cups, and it's
yes. They stack the cups.
yeah.
Yes.
So the guy who figured out how much revenue the Cubs got from that viral tweet, that was me, right? I'm the one that everyone stole that tweet. This is like $200,000 like beer thing. Yeah, that was me. And
Really?
one of the comments from my buddy is, so Jim, how much did you contribute to that beer snake? To which I did not incriminate myself. But anyways, Wrigley Field, good time, good pizza. You get good pizza and good beer.
Jim, you were going viral before going viral was a thing. You
I was.
got the beer cup. You were making Chex Mix. That like these are you've got
These are
hit after hit, Jim. I'm
hit
surprised
after
we're
hit.
even talking. I am in such great presence, man, to be able to
Likewise,
hang with you.
It's this is what I'm known for: calculating the ROI and the beer snake and Chex Mix in a crock pot. This is what I do.
What is up?
And
What's to come
almost
next?
burning down my house making pizza in an easy bake oven.
Well, it is interesting. I'll say that. Um, all right, last.
Yeah, I would say segue out of that one, bud. Good luck.
Yeah. I will. I'm not sure where to go with that, other than just going to quickly mention the last two that we've got, man. This one was Hunt's Brothers Pizza brings back chicken bacon ranch. I didn't, Hunt's Brothers one we've heard about, and I think we were talking about, was it a week or two ago? We're talking
Yeah,
about how huge of a franchise they actually are,
massive.
right? By
Yep.
number of locations, which was incrementally larger or exponentially larger than some of the largest chains that we bought, right? They're kind of highlighting part for this was low cost to entry from a franchise
Right.
perspective, right? There was no like franchise fee. Essentially, the equipment for them was very
You need
minimal.
an oven and you're good. Yeah.
Yeah, and the revenue kind of component was you had to buy your ingredients from the franchisee, right, or franchisor,
Yep.
or sorry, from that perspective. So, but interesting, they're coming out with chicken bacon ranch pizza. I don't know. See, it's a limited time offering. I don't really have too much more to add. Go ahead.
I'll raise my hand. I've had this pizza. I am a fan of Hunt's Brothers.
Yeah.
Well, this pizza slaps, but it is
Really?
it's low sauce, it's heavy
It looks
chicken,
low
heavy
sauce. Let me
ranch.
pull it
It
up. Let me
is.
pull it up.
It's one of those things you don't feel good about yourself. I'll be honest. You don't feel great about yourself after
Yeah.
you eat it, but as you're eating it, right, with your tub of soda, dude, it hits. I'm not ashamed to say that I was a little excited to see this come back because this pizza's good. Well, this is a good for again. It's a C-store pizza. You're in the
Yeah.
middle of a cornfield, right? You're stopping
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
your soda and your corn nuts. You're gonna get a slice of this, and you're gonna be really happy about it.
Okay, so in general, the pie features Hunt Brothers original pizza crust with a ranch sauce, diced chicken, bacon, a blend of just straight up mozzarella,
No,
not
not
real
even
or
based
fake
on. Okay,
mozzarella, right? Just a
just
blend of
mozzarella. Oh,
mozzarella
okay.
and cheddar cheeses and a sprinkle of Hunt Brothers signature just right spice.
Yeah.
So does that mean it is sauceless, essentially, I guess, except for the ranch?
Yeah, I thought there was a little bit, but maybe not. I didn't wait enough to actually dissect this thing, but I remember this. I remember exactly where I was in my life when I had it, and but I'm telling
Okay.
you, it's a good slice. It's a better slice than it
Wow.
should be.
Okay. So I will note, director of marketing from Hunts Brothers, D. Cleveland, we love to watch the excitement build in the weeks leading up to the
Yeah,
return as consumers see their favorite LTO is coming back, resulting in increased foot traffic and profits for our partners. I feel like I now need to do my Ohio Valley pie myself and find a Hunts Brothers near me
on the
just to
way.
try this chicken
Yeah,
bacon ranch.
it slaps, bud. So,
All
listen,
right.
I love what Hunts Brothers doing. Right, they're not trying to be the best; they're just trying to be there for you. There for you, you need it. And hats off to them.
So I would order this one over the cheeseburger pie.
Oh, yeah,
I
not
just
even
it
close.
looks intriguing and you've sold it hard, right? If listen, if Hans Brothers maybe needs a CMO, right, as we're talking about, or beer and pizza expert like we've seen from Casey's, Jim, this could be the job for
This could
you.
be this. I will get my Casey's tattoo blazered off and put a Hunts Brothers right over it. That's what this takes.
Well, I mean, listen, tonight you've got a couple options,
Yeah,
Totonno's or a Hunts Brothers. So whichever one you want to pony up for, I think Jim could be calling your
that's
name.
tough. Boy, I probably got 20 on each, right? I think we can diversify, right? That's what
Seems
a good
fair.
financial guy would say, right?
Seems fair. Seems fair. All right, last one, man. This one was out of PMQ.
Oh, good.
And the article was, why are fast casual pizza chains suddenly reassessing their growth strategies? Feature here from Mod Pizza on the front. I won't get too much into the weeds about it, but I think one of the main highlights from the article itself was the idea of the kind of the shift, right, in general from, let's say, post-COVID, where we were kind of getting these special offered or specialty pies that were being created for quick, fast, casual service in, and then kind of post COVID where that's no longer fish quick, fast, casual in. Perhaps that's quick, fast, casual out or to go or for delivery. So maybe that model needs a little bit more invigorating. Sure, there's 1,000 other issues around it, but
Yeah.
definitely kind of highlighting a number of the Pyologies, Blaze, and Mod that are looking to kind of expand, rethink what they're doing, change up operations, right, or expand to different areas is what I meant to say. So, I don't know, interested, Jim. Your take on
Yeah.
fast casual chain style
it,
pizzas like this?
it's interesting, right? Because I think we talked about earlier for that upper tier pizza, people want to go in, they want to sound, they want to have the experience. But I think before Mod Pizza and these were kind of you could get your kind of a better pizza and you think you can take it to go, but
Mm-hmm.
people aren't dealing it right, and it's just I feel like this market is kind of shrinking a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe just because rising food costs is not necessarily the value that maybe it once was. So, really good article. I don't want to steal PMQ's thunder, but totally. But yeah, we saw right also like it was the CC's right where they wanted the 10-year lease, and the guy's like, listen, I don't know what 10 years is going to look like with the high cost of equipment. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think just the equipment, the lease, and the franchisees becoming a barrier to entry, and you're not seeing that middle class of pizza anymore. I think you're seeing the tiers, and I think I'll be honest. Well, I haven't seen there's a Blaze Pizza by me. I don't think I've seen someone in it in a while, right? It used to be a line out the door, and now it kind of
Yeah.
lost its luster. What about you? What do you think? Am I
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
generalizing
with
it,
you
or
there. No, I think you've hit it on the head. And just to know, PMQ, if you do go into the article, they have a whole expose that they wrote. They took a deep dive into, they kind of quote here, into the future of fast casual pizza. So there's a great back behind this entire article that you could dig into and read
absolutely?
some of the interviews that they did. And pizza is one of the ones they referenced, which actually I thought was kind of cool. I know they've had a change up from like CEO and strategy of what they're doing as well. I've never had Pyology. I've never had Blaze. I've had Mod. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I struggle with it. It's like
Yeah,
when someone grabs like a shell off of like the stand and just kind of tops it and throws it in the oven for a minute, and it doesn't feel like a pizza. Especially when I got like I definitely tried one of the smalls before,
oh yeah,
just to give it a whirl, and that is like a tortilla.
right. It's
Honestly.
tiny. Yeah,
And I was just like, but it's almost like the consistency of it too. So I'm kind of like, I like the idea of the customization. I just I don't think it's a pie for me from that
agreed.
perspective. It's not bad. It's just not particularly what I'm looking for to have. So
It,
the model's tough for me, but I can appreciate the allure of replicating the chain concept or the Chipotle, right? The
yeah,
Chipotleization
the
of the concept, right?
Chipotlization of
Across,
pizza, right? Yeah,
of it. But yeah, maybe I don't know. I'm happy to see the independents, do well. But I'm also
sure.
we support the chain big guys too. Like I'm a down
Right.
for a Domino's pie and
There's
whatnot. But I
individual
just don't know
operators,
about
and
this
they
one.
have their place. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
know.
just not my style, man. I don't know about this one.
Same, same. And I say it's not
I'm
college
not missing
pizza.
the location.
No, and
Yeah,
say I've had it before. I've had it several times. It's always like, okay, that was fine. But for pizza, I
I
think you and I want better than fine.
yeah, but I guess I'm even saying even if I was open, if I'm totally down for some non-artisan craft local person, right?
Yeah,
I'm probably okay to grab a Domino's, Papa John's, or a Pizza Hut and be happy with their offering. I could see then myself ordering from one of these fast casuals. Maybe that's just not the style, or maybe it's not the way I would typically want to eat pizza. I don't know. Maybe there's something to it. I don't know. Maybe that
yeah,
fast
yeah.
casual idea is not like what I'm looking for. Maybe it just doesn't fit the genre for me. I don't know. I probably
I,
am very unique in that thought, but like
I, I
somebody was
mean,
buying the pizza
according to the
before, so
article, I don't think you are that all
maybe
that
I'm
unique,
not.
right?
I'm trying to give them some credit here. Like I don't
Yeah.
think I don't want to poo poo on it. It just doesn't. It
No, no,
doesn't
it's
hit for me.
yeah, it doesn't it for me again, right? And when people are doing mostly takeaway, maybe it does, or you get your customization, but that's kind of waning, right? And
Yeah,
so
I
I don't know,
agree.
I think like I have a young daughter who has a softball game and a pizza party after, right? And I know they're gonna have Little Caesars, right? They're not gonna have mod pizza in it. Why? Because it is
Hmm.
pizza everyone likes, right? It has the right price point and just it
Yep.
hits, and mod pizza and these will probably never hit that niche, right? So it's just
Yep.
where they fall. So interesting, great article by PMQ. I love when they dive into the business part of it. And
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
thought this one was one of my favorites they've written in a while. It was a good one.
Yeah, it was a
So
great read, and
check
I
this
said
one out
a
certainly.
great article linked behind it as well to read kind of some of the interviews that they put together for future of fast casual kind of pizza. All right, Jim. Well, listen, man. I think that takes us to the end for
Perfect.
today. A lot of great pizza topics, a lot of great pizza news.
Yeah, great show.
Jim, for the entire pizza community that now needs to not only follow your pizza making things and everything else
Yeah,
you do pizza oriented, but now they need to check out your articles about beer cups, and they also need to see your Chex Mix, man.
Chex Mix.
Where do they find you on social media?
You can put in Jim Cook's Food Good wherever you get your social media or glue based recipes, and you'll run into me one way or another.
Are you using glue in the check? What's the things with the Chex Mix when you make them stick together? Is it just marshmallows, or is it
It's just
glue? Is it
marshmallows.
really Elmer's?
Well,
Okay, okay, I
you
wasn't sure.
got to read the article, bud. You got to read the recipe. I
I
need
don't
those
want to cheat
clicks.
you from a click. I don't want to
Mm.
cheat you from a click, so I will go and check it out myself. And speaking of clicking, for everyone else, we need you to click like and subscribe here for us. Check out I Need Pizza Club on YouTube. We've got a ton of other content out there from other individuals just like us that are hosting shows on a few other nights. So we're doing interviews. We're doing a number of different items. So check out the page I Need Pizza Club on YouTube. Like and subscribe. And guys, check us out next week for another episode. Thanks, everybody. Good
Cheers.
night.